$5 from Matt Reynolds. Spending money for the people at Granite Games next week. Next week we'll be doing blow with that money, Matt. Oh, Hillary, you think I swear too much, huh? And then I saw
you're in the comment section. Huh?
I saw you get toe up for talking shit about me. I saw you get toe up.
No. What do you mean?
Let me read.
I missed that.
Let me read the comments that came in after you ambushed me. Good to see you guys. Good.
Hey guys, so you know, Sevan's also in the comments. He doesn't talk.
Oh, Taylor, I'm glad for you that you're taking this broadcast seriously and that you're in your car. It's cool how professional and serious you take this. You know, we just got paid $5, right?
It's $5 studio right there.
Just mute the fucking thumb.
That's awfully rude.
Muted his ass. Coming in hot. Hot.
A for effort. Look at him. He's like,
look at him. He looks like a cop. He looks like he's in the parking garage. He's stuck in the parking garage at the MACC. He can't even get out. Is that okay? Fine. We'll unmute him. Where are you?
Can you hear me?
And unfortunately,
is the audio any good?
Right now it is.
Yeah,
are you driving or are you just sitting still?
I turned Wi-Fi off, so we should be fine.
Oh, because you're sharing it with 10,000 other people?
No, I was on my girlfriend's hotspot, but I don't think that's better than my data. So I think we're good to go.
Where are you?
I was in the parking garage from the MACC waiting for Jason Hopper to finish his buddies. And then we're driving back to South Carolina.
This is not a family show. Before we start, I want to thank Andrew Hiller from Hiller Fit. You guys all know who he is for doing this whole week. He's been freaking awesome. The guy who kind of drove this and has let his alpha seep all over us and kind of almost borderline bully us, Taylor Self, for the weekend. But someone has to kind of make sure the ball keeps rolling. And then, of course, the executive producer of the Sevan podcast, Matt Souza, who sends us all the schedules and makes sure everyone shows up on time. And unfortunately, we don't have J.R. Howell here, who is prioritized driving with his kids than being with us. And then all the guests, of course, that we've had on during the week: Dave Castro, James Townsend, who else is Scott Panchik, Rich Froning, Angelo DeChico,
James Sprague,
the whole crew. You guys have, and then all you guys at home. In all honesty, if you guys weren't listening, we would not do this. Like if we had 3 listeners, I'd be like, "Fuck this."
Are we live?
Oh, we are live. No, I'm just rehearsing. When we do
you never said shit.
I didn't do the Batman we're live.
Oh, now we're live.
Batman we're live.
We're live. You can get your TD CEO shirts, yes, at Vindicate. By the way, all of these shows also, if you would like to get blood panel work and start exploring what it's like to be on TRT, you should check out California Hormones. We have a really exciting year coming up for you. Tomorrow on the podcast, we will have a guy who's embarking on the TRT program. He had severe COVID, almost died. He was in a coma for 80 days. We're going to interview him tomorrow. He also has a little what you might call cartel experience, which will be fun to talk about also. Oh, look at Taylor's like taking some deep breaths.
He doesn't like the cartel.
He just
looks like he fights against the cartel. DEA.
Oh. Do
you want to start? Do you want to start at the beginning or just be like, "Holy shit, Spencer's in"?
Yeah, kick it off right there.
Okay,
so first time.
Yeah, and then we'll go back and talk about Mayhem, what they did early this morning when I should have been asleep. Holy cow! So basically, Spencer's. That's not fun, right? Spencer's destiny was controlled by Tyler Christoffel.
Why is that not fun? What's not fun about that? It ended up being kind of fun.
I mean for Spencer.
It's how it is at the end of every weekend, though, isn't it? There's always going to be somebody, I suppose, who's going to be in control of somebody else's destiny, and all Spencer can do is finish as high as he can, and hope that the other guy falls back.
And he didn't just fall back.
He was that was the best judging performance of the semifinals thus far.
Are you shocked when you see someone as seasoned as Tyler Christoffel and Brooke Wells make that same mistake at the finish line to put the bar down from overhead before they lock out and have control at the top there?
at the beginning of the weekend, I think Taylor and I were going back and forth about Tyler's overhead and how the complex was going to be an issue, not due to the cleans or the front squats, but due to his ability to push it shouldered overhead. So approaching that bar, I don't think that very many of us were surprised that was the issue for him, which was keeping the bar overhead on the lunges. And then what you were saying was, is it something as season? I think Brooke put it down because she knew she couldn't finish. I think Tyler lapsed mentally.
No, really? I think Brooke lapsed mentally too. You think they both stepped over the yellow line and then before they had control fully standing up, it came forward. You're saying Brooke didn't have a choice. She lost control. And Tyler, his was just, he was trying to rush across the finish line. I think they both made the same mistake.
Taylor, what do you think? Are you driving?
I'm good. I think Brooke took a lot more time and was a little more poised in terms of sitting and waiting until she had it. It seemed like Tyler had several sections of the lunge that he, especially at the end, that he was at failure and failed right at the last second, and it cost him big time. We're talking specifically at the very last rep, both of them stepped over the line, and I'm suggesting that both of them had a mental lapse. And Andrew is saying only Tyler had the mental lapse and Brooks was a physical bad positioning fatigue type issue. And we're going to you for the tiebreaker. Is that true, Andrew? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
I think Tyler had more of a mental lapse because he failed that last section several times.
You could see him shake his head too, like he was like, "Ugh." Like
he kind of. And I think why is because he knew what was going on. I think in that moment he knows. Like,
he knew he lost his spot.
Yeah.
But also, it looks a lot like the rope climbs. You see the athletes, so it's like go, 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 and they're trying to get up the rope too soon. In my opinion, it almost looks like they just try to do the lunge too soon. Like they lost gas in their ability to hold the bar overhead or complete the lunges.
Mason Mitchell is suggesting that Brooke also the next time she came through, she failed. I didn't see that.
I didn't see that. I think she solidified it with the second time. I would also say too Go ahead, Taylor.
I was going to say what happened to Brooke and Tyler were both very similar, and I was surprised to see Brooke in fourth. I thought she was close to dropping out. At least that's how it felt when you were in the arena watching that go down.
Are you saying there was some tinkering on the leaderboard?
Man, it didn't look like it made sense. I mean, I don't know. She
helping, like
tinkering on the leaderboard, dude. This isn't fucking the United States. This isn't the election for the United States of America. There's no tinkering. The CrossFit Games are legit and transparent. This isn't fucking Georgia.
Did you pay for that documentary, Sevan?
No.
Oh, boy.
But I had read the article. The article had come out a month earlier, and
don't buy it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the money.
So wait, what's the confusion with Brooke across the line? What are you guys saying? That she didn't get that rep, and then they gave it to her, and then the leaderboard's being tinkered with now? Is that the
no?
I
was just saying. Yeah, I was just saying that you were holding your breath because she was so behind in that heat, and it was like, man, if enough of these girls pass her, she's not getting in. But
hey, let me tell you how close it is. Let me tell you how close it is. Kelly Clark did everything she had to do.
Mm-hmm.
On the push press, she timed it to the last one. She put the bar down, then she finished the last push press, and then she lunged across the finish line. She never dropped her bar. I mean, she was a savage.
She didn't beat Danielle Brandon.
No, you're right. She has Kelly Clark. You ready for this, Taylor?
Well.
441 points. Rebecca Fuselier 442. Brooke Wells 443. So you're right.
Damn.
It is. I mean, if Kelly Clark would have beat Danielle Brandon, she would have jumped up into fourth place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough. It was tough to watch her. I met her in Aromas at the ranch, and she was a super nice girl, and she moves so well. It was awesome to watch her on that workout. And fucking gosh, 1 point.
Heartbreaking. Masters athlete going for it.
That's tough.
How did she do with the pig?
I didn't see her on the pig. I was the only athlete that I saw.
You're too busy underneath it.
Yes.
I saw my own taint.
Oh, the stench from his own ass while being smashed under the pig was too strong to see any other athletes. Taylor Williamson looked pissed when they announced Brooke, even though her husband works alongside her, but it might be because she has constant RB. Jeez, Louise. Jeez, Damien. Jeez.
Damn,
She has
Damien.
constant
Can't believe I even started reading that.
I gotta bet those boys.
I was waiting for you to start reading it, so I'm not surprised.
Jeffrey Birchfield, the rep is credited. This is going back to, and I still don't, I'm not sure if Taylor understands what we're talking about, Hiller, because he keeps like trying to address it directly. But the rep is credited when the athlete gets both heels across a solid line, that was the yellow line, with the barbell in the overhead position and is standing tall with hips and knees fully extended per MACC standards. I agree. And Jeff, the thing is Andrew is saying that Tyler Christoffel rushed it and put it down before he got to that position because of a mental error.
His whole body was tilted forward.
And Brooke was tilted forward and couldn't get in that position because of some physical limitations, and she got tired or whatever the reason.
No.
And I disagree with Andrew. I think it's both that they both had a moment of tardation.
Yeah, you're right. I saw Brooke. Sorry, I was confused. I saw Brooke fail, and I also was standing right in front of Tyler Christoffel. He didn't let it down before he just stood all the way up. He was trying to stand it up, and his elbows buckled, and he dropped the ball.
Oh,
it was subtle. It was subtle, but it was a for sure physical failure.
Oh, so Andrew and I are both wrong on Tyler Christoffel.
Well, that looked different in person then.
Okay.
He was standing it up. He was standing it up, and his elbows were like, it was like a 1/4 inch of buckle. And if you were to try to, like, if he was trying to straighten his knees out another inch, his elbows would have just fully given him. He just threw the bar ahead of him because he couldn't stand it up.
Okay. And Miss Wells, what would you say about? So we're both 0-1 on Tyler. What about Brooke?
No, it was the same thing for Brooke. Yeah, it was a physical.
Oh shit!
She just pushed it to the limit.
I think
that's
Hiller
elbow.
Win for Hillerfit.
They have to redline. They have to go through it there. And think about how loud it is inside their head, right? They know that this is it. They have to make it in a certain thing to qualify. They're going to completely push the limits. There's no reason to be conservative. It's an all or nothing approach. And we've seen these type of just utter failures right at the line with the lunge events all the time. They make for the best drama, especially that overhead position, right? Because there's so many things that start to go around. So I thought it was a really great event, but I mean, I think it's a combination of just that mental, everything is so loud, and then physically you're just redline. So we see those bars come down.
Yeah. I think that also the thing to point out with both of them, where they were both in kind of a bubble qualifying position and both were so far behind in their heat. I could see them both in their head are thinking like, fuck, you're losing it. You're losing it. You're losing it. Yeah. And that just cyclical negative talk going in your head, making you pick up the bar a little too quick and not staying composed.
Can you turn your turn signal off and from here on out only use
hand sorry.
And please only use hand signals from here on out. And Hiller, while I'm criticizing people, please no drinks with ice while on the show. The slurping sound is kind of erotic, but the ice is not so good. Okay. Will you go back? I spoke to JR Howell. He is driving, but there was something he wanted to point out to us that also Brian Friend mentions quite a bit. Can we go over to the men's leaderboard? Brian's always talking about how not always, but he'll mention that the men's CrossFit Games competitions, the male athletes are a little more along the progression, the evolution. Maybe you could say it's more competitive, right? That would be the way. And one of the telltale signs is if you look at the top 5 here and you look at the lowest anyone placed. So you have Spencer, I think, is the lowest anyone placed. Oh, no. Even Noah Olson has a 19th. So the lowest you have placed is a 4th place finisher, Noah Olson, with a 19th placement. Now let's go over to the top 5 women just to test out this theory, just to see what's going on, and see what the lowest placement here is of a woman in the top 5, just to see where we're at.
19th,
24th.
19th.
Oh, you do see a 24th?
Brooke Wells.
Oh, Brooke Wells. Yep.
Okay. So it's kind of fascinating. Had anyone heard of this Rebecca Fuselier before this event?
James Sprague talked about her a little bit on the show. Aside from that, she's kind of like, has like a big Instagram following for like reels or stuff, whatever, like little TikToks or things she makes. But aside from that, I didn't think athletically.
Sevan's about to be on that train too.
She's a fucking TikTok legend. Let me see how many followers she has.
30,000.
Okay. Those red, white, and blue shorts, those would look nice on you, Taylor.
Absolutely.
Man, you could rock the shit out of those.
Well, handstand walk action in those bad boys.
Same cut.
I want to see.
Absolutely.
I want to see you swim in those at Wadapalooza next year.
Those are some Adrian Conway approved GHD sit-ups.
When she hugged Kelly Clark, the top of her head came under Kelly Clark's head, and then I saw Kelly Clark hug one of the competitors out there, and her head went underneath that competitor's head. I wish you knew which competitor that was. There was a giant woman out there. You guys did
a giant woman.
Yeah, but I didn't recognize her. Tall. She was in the final heat. I wonder who the tallest lady was who was in the final heat.
Let's find out.
Well, my wife was asking me, so Kelly Clark still has a chance because she goes to the last chance qualifier. But really, I mean, the last chance qualifier is just savagery, right? I mean, it's just that's harder. That's the hardest way to go, right? I mean, there's so many good athletes and only 2 go.
Well, Taylor was there last year. How tough is it?
I think there's an argument to be made that it's different. You don't have the best games qualifiers there because all of them qualified to their semifinal, but you also don't have the slapdicks that are 20 to 30 in all the semifinals. You have the guys that are 6'7", 8". So it's tough, but it's.
You arguably have some of the greatest outliers in there, though, also, which is a problem.
Yeah, the outliers are, I think, what make the.
I like that you call them the slapdicks.
You have a lot of those. I just like that term. You have the guys that can hit home runs in those specialty events. A lot of them in the last chance, and that's what makes it really tough. Like I think last year you had those guys like Papadopoulos, that Greek dude, who deadlifted like 700 pounds for 3. I don't know, not that much, but a lot. Like fucking
with one arm, with one
585,
585. Good gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have guys like that in there. Even you have guys like Alex Kachulis, who is going to win 100 burpees. You have home run hitters, and very rarely do you have an athlete that's extremely well-rounded. Or I mean, I think the person who's the most well-rounded is the guy who wins the last chance. Same with the girl, and I think you saw that last year. You saw Roman Krenikov win the last chance, and he was clearly the best athlete there in that field.
That gives hope to Kelly Clark because she's definitely well-rounded. 7th, 11th, 8th, 4th, 14th, and 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Tyler's going back there too.
Yeah.
Tyler was there last year, took 3rd. I think that's one. Or no, he got to the games, didn't he? After that, didn't they backfill that, or did they not end up backfilling that? Because Roman didn't go.
They didn't backfill it. They didn't backfill it. They asked to backfill, and they told him no. Kick rocks.
Jeez,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
557.
Rebecca's 5'2".
Oh yeah, Tyler. Yeah.
Go ahead, Taylor. Sorry, Taylor.
No, I was just gonna say it was Roman, Alexander Caron, and Tyler, and then me in the last chance.
So Spencer goes and Saxon goes, and we have mom and dad kissing and crying, and the whole family's happy, and it's intense to watch. And of course, my homeboy Jake Berman doesn't go. That sucks. But I am happy for Spencer. But Scott, who could have gone, isn't going. I wonder if that's just extra salt in the womb for Scott Panchik.
Oh, for sure. I mean, think about it. That would have been the first time the 3 of them at the games, especially we know Scott. This potentially, now with the injury is his last year, who knows if he'll be able to make a comeback from that. And so it would have been his kind of hoorah at the games with the 2 brothers there, which just would have put a nice bow on the Panchik story.
And now there's no bow.
And CrossFit fucked it up.
Hey, Darren, he would love that. He would love to be wearing a Batman outfit.
No joke. I have one from high school. I've been looking for it. I got to find the picture. I'll put it on. I'll get in there.
Hiller, don't let the comments in the chat when you said that I swear too much and people started bombing you, telling you talk too much, affect you. You talk away, buddy. Don't hold back.
No. This is your show. Remember, I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to speak in sign language this whole time.
Don't let that shit get in your head.
That'll bring the show to the next level. When I just sign the whole show, it'll bring you a whole new audience.
Can we? Where did William Leahy finish? Oh, 10th.
He was in the top.
actually
He was in
doing
the
real
final.
So I was listening to another show, as I know you don't like talking about those, and there was an analyst speaking on this other show.
Give me a hint.
Khaleesi.
Oh,
and
you can always talk about anything she does. Go ahead.
All right. Well, and on this show, Mr. Friend was talking about Mr. William Leahy, and I believe he goes by Bill, saying that he had similar stature to Brian. And then I looked up his profile, and he's almost 200 pounds, but it's a wiry 200 pounds. So I don't know if Brian said he was standing next to him, and he's like, we share very similar body attributes. And then Brian goes, if anyone's ever seen me, I'm a little bit thinner. And I'm like, oh, are you trying to knock down Mr. William Leahy? And I'm a big fan of Leahy.
Brian and Bill Leahy don't have similar bodies at all.
Yes, you summed up my 1 minute rant right there. Thank you.
But me and Colton Merton's very close. Very close.
Strength department.
So this makes sense. He's 21 years old. What did you guys think about him? Is he going to be next year's? Magda Tudor Magda? 21 years old. He has a.
Well, dude, if it weren't for the first two events, he was there.
I mean, he has an event win.
Yeah, the 19th and the 22nd. I mean, but look at after that: 1st, 7th, 4th, 13th. I mean, he cleans up those first two. I mean, really, that second event, the Midland Sadness, is really what kind of put him.
Remember what Panchik said yesterday? This is actually pretty cool. Panchik yesterday said that Midland Sadness was the GHD sit-up workout, was the indicator of who would finish where, and the top 5 spots were the top 5 finishes, not in order, but they were all within the top 5 on that workout. So that was a great take on his end. Yeah, and the females are pretty fucking close too, with the exception of Shelby Neal.
I'm looking now. So you have Saxon, Panchik.
So all those people are in the top 5.
Dallin Pepper, Noah Olson, Spencer, Cole Sager. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he nailed it.
That was one of the best calls in the history of calls.
He kind of knows his shit.
Females too.
Wow.
In the 5th event, this is a little obscure and abstract. If they had a close-up shot of Saxon Panchik, did you guys remember that right before the bell rings? And he does something with his throat. Do you think he was going to throw up? Did you guys notice that? It was a close-up of him, and he kind of like convulsed. Did you see that?
I wish he would have thrown up.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I didn't see that, no, but I have made mention of most of the movements he does under some sort of duress. He goes in the middle. Have you ever noticed that?
Saxon.
Correct, yeah. Usually it's on a clean, like when he's doing a clean pull, so it's like wide and anything under stress. And I always wondered why he does that. Makes it feel easier
Him
or
and Spencer
whatever.
both do it, yeah.
Isn't there like some technique about taking in air that like I think Sam Bridges could do that too.
Do it on the 21-15-9.
Like you're trying to gulp air.
I must be on a delay. Yeah.
Maybe that's why we haven't gotten to the next level yet, Taylor. We need more air.
Hey, the TIA cam count 4,590,389. Rich 3.
I actually hired that guy to take a statistics on that. So thank you, Darren.
Darren's in cahoots.
I am looking over here to see if any of the people we have asked to come to the show
have responded.
Yes, have responded. Maybe we should start digging deeper into the bullpen.
Yeah, they might be celebrating popping champagne right now, huh?
It would be great to get Spencer on. I'm dying to hear what he thinks. I'm dying.
Yeah.
5th event, Tyler Christophal was hauling on those dumbbell snatches. Did you notice that those guys are so strong and so talented? He drops it into his other hand. There's a moment where it's free falling. You guys do that?
Yes.
You do that too, Taylor?
I drop it from overhead.
And then catch it in your other hand?
And yeah, I switch like right here.
Wow.
One of the worst judging things ever, and this is kind of what I was trying to get at with the entire GHD placement idea, was that Remember in the open where they said you had to like control it below your head before you switch? It just adds too much abstractness to the movement. I thought that was one of the worst additions into the history of CrossFit movements.
Yeah, where was that ruled?
Yeah,
that was a rule at the games?
I think they started in the 2018 or 19 Open.
Yeah, that's complete
I remember the first
bullshit.
year the
That's
dumbbell
idiocy.
snatch workout came out, it was okay. Like you could do whatever the hell you wanted. And most people at that point in time were still like taking the 50-pound dumbbell for the males and switching on the floor. In the open announcement with Mikowski and Dellner, you can see Mikowski actually does the whole workout that way.
You think that was a safety thing? I can't think of any reason to do that unless for some reason they thought it was a safety issue. That is complete stupidity to try to put that in
Sousa's the affiliate owner. What do you think, Sousa?
Well, I mean, you're talking about two different categories of people here. The people in my affiliate, yeah, we're going to go for safety over speed, right? Dropping a 50-pound dumbbell from the top of your head down to try to catch it.
Are you saying there should be a safety over speed division, Sousa?
No, I'm just thinking that the that the standards when you go to the open should favor it a little bit more than when you're doing it in a live competition like this.
Can you pull up Dave's Instagram? Hey, I just looked over at Sousa and I got like the Ben Bergeron effect. Do you think Sousa kind of looks like Ben Bergeron right now? He needs a baseball cap.
I got Ben.
He looks like my cousin. He looks like my cousin, Sousa.
Is it the headphones?
I don't.
No, you actually look less like my cousin with the headphones on.
Will you pull up
Dave's
Instagram? Let me see this thing. Shots fired from Dave. What are you talking? I'll decide whether it's shots fired from Dave.
We'll be there.
I'm happy Noah went to the games. But did you see an event 5 Noah going over the box?
I saw an event 5 Noah going over the box well.
You did? You thought that was well?
Compared to the other athletes going over the box? What are you making note of?
Dave Castro, Scott Panchik, I heard about the knee. That sucks. Heal up and come back stronger. You're a fighter. Oh, nah. I don't know if that shot's fired. That's just
a little love. He's just giving Scotty a little love there.
Yeah, it's just a little love. Just a little love. But I'm glad you brought it to our attention. That is, it's interesting. It's worth noting. Do you think it's shots fired?
The only way it could be shots fired is if he was trying to make a post and the CrossFit Games hasn't made a post directly about it yet.
And have they?
Well, in the past, Dave Castro would have made a post about it, That was kind of his thing. He would speak out to the situations like this on his personal Instagram, something a lot of people didn't like very much.
Yeah.
But had a lot of help at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on that thing. I thought he looked slow and clunky, and
you know why he looked slow and clunky?
Because he's tired.
They had to keep their feet within the freaking box.
Yeah, what did you think about that rule?
You got to go within the box.
Let's talk about that.
Any part of your appendage left the box, the whole movement becomes easier.
Well, then I didn't see a single good rep from anybody.
Exactly. Noah had good reps.
There were a lot of athletes that were getting no reps on that, and also a lot that realized that if they just put their feet to the other side of the judge, that they could do whatever the fuck they wanted. And I thought that the standard was stupid. It's a get over. You're jumping over a fence. Who fucking cares where your feet are?
The box is too fucking small for those guys.
Noah could do it.
Barely.
Exactly. It's not easy.
There was nothing athletic about it. There was nothing athletic or functional about it at all.
I see the argument being made, but the thing is they were supposed to keep themselves within the realm of the box. And athletes like Noah were doing it well.
Even if the tip of your shoe went out the outside, it should have been a no rep.
Yeah.
Then I saw hundreds of no reps.
The worst case is like your girl Sydney. Basically, half of her her knee and everything else was outside of the box. And I think, like Taylor said, that she figured it out, keep it to the other side of the judge.
Hey, will you pull up my the 3 Playing Brothers Instagram?
Yeah.
And look what I just posted.
The movement's made much easier.
By what?
When you're allowed to go around it, it untaxes the hip flexors. Like you got to get your hips a little bit higher, and it makes you pull on your hips a little bit more challengingly to get over the box.
I think what makes it a lot easier is you don't have to fucking crawl over the box like you're a baby. If you can just jump over the box like it's a fence.
You just don't like that it looks stupid.
Oh shit!
I agree. Post. It does look stupid.
It does look stupid.
So dumb.
It didn't post.
But it was what it was. It does look stupid though. Bigger box. I agree with Sevan. I agree with you.
Yeah, didn't they have
stupid?
The first time we seen something like this was that wall in 2013. 2013, 2014 at the end of the games.
With the obstacle course? Oh, no, the wall.
No, it was the snatches at 165, and then they did the burpees over the wall. And I think that's the way to go, because if you have that small box, it's mostly just about the design of the piece of equipment you're using, right? So if you just squished all the boxes together and made a wall for them to
You're saying the MACC needed a wall sponsor. They need a whole bunch of carpenters to sponsor the event, come out, build a wall.
Or just double up on the boxes, go 2 boxes. So that way,
the wall sponsor.
What is the reason? Why would they do that? What is the reason for keeping people on the box without going?
I just told you. It's harder.
I don't think that's why.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I think at a lot of athlete briefings, you have the phenomena of the stupid fucking question. So I think when so many athletes ask so many stupid questions about so many potential uncommon movements, the judges are like, oh, well, we better implement a standard that keeps people from making it easier. When in reality, just say, get over the fucking box. Both hands have to touch the top of the box, or the torso or the center of your body has to pass over the top of the box. But with people asking like, oh, well, can I swing a leg around, or do I have to touch with both feet, or do I have to wear a belt, or should I wear underwear? I mean, you sit through an athlete briefing and tell me, oh my God, you're the dumbest
it's miserable to sit through those briefings. But you remember 2018 regionals? I believe that was the final where they had to hit the bike really hard, and then they had to do the sandbag cleans, and in between those two movements were the box get overs, and they were burpee box get overs where you had to have both hands, both feet touch. So you just said both hands touch, and I think that they should have told athletes, instead of getting the legs over, both hands, both feet have to touch the top of the box.
Yes, that would be way better.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be way, way better.
It makes it cut and clear that way.
But Taylor still thinks it looks stupid that way, but it would have fixed everything.
Well, here's the thing. From that overhead camera shot, you could see that no one. I mean, none of the fucking reps were good.
Except for Noah's.
Were his even good?
They were gooder.
Well, then
they were the goodest.
Then that sucks that he was the guy who played by the rules.
He still won, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was going slower. Like Tyler Christophel was doing 3 for every time Noah did 2.
And Tyler was also getting no rep on that one.
True. True. Good point.
Well, there's a way to do the burpee box get over that allows you to just touch one foot and keep your body in the width of the box and go really fast. It's like if you press up
even on those high boxes,
swing
though,
1 foot on top of.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think you can do that when it's that high. What Taylor's saying?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Is it just like that?
Yes, you
hangs
can.
Off the back, Taylor. Is that what you're talking about?
Your rear leg hangs off the back, and you kind of tuck the knee and shoot that leg through. It's almost like, that's how I do them, and I've done them on boxes that are pretty wide, and it's way. I honestly don't know why any of the athletes were doing that there. I thought the most athletic burpee get over was Danielle Brandon's, but she wasn't swinging both over. She was just jumping all the way onto the fucking box and off.
Yeah, she was hauling ass.
Hey, I don't believe you've done a burpee box over with a box that high. How high was that box?
Was it a 48 for the guys?
Yeah,
no, 48. It was taller than 48.
Was it?
I don't know. It looked fucking tall. Was it 48?
It was tall as Foussier. That's how tall it was. It was 4'10".
You ever done it with 48 inches, Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You do it on jerk blocks usually. You just stack up a bunch of jerk blocks and then you get after it.
Yeah.
I use jerk blocks.
Thanks, Austin Hartman and Mike M. 48, Sevan.
Oh, that is it? Okay. The wall of meat known as Oscar Mora struggled on event 5. We basically saw him kind of fade away. Is that just all body type issue? Is that?
There's definitely body types that will be more conclusive to being better at the events for sure. And you saw it when he finished higher on the first event, winning. And you see the Panchiks do better on the CrossFit type events.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Look how good Cole did, Panchik did, Noah did on that last workout, and that last workout was a CrossFit workout. Does
Oscar remind you of anybody, Sevan, in the past, like CrossFit athletes? Who comes to mind? I got one.
Who?
Kalipa with smaller arms and less neck.
Interesting. And Khalipa had bigger legs too, though, right?
Yeah.
But if you think of someone like the Panchiks, all of a sudden you just named a handful of athletes that look like the Panchiks. So I think all of a sudden you've got like an opposite end of the spectrum Fikowski sort of player here in Oscar, where he just kind of is an outlier guy.
He's so
I don't think his body type is that different to say he's an outlier.
Really?
What do you
don't
mean?
think he had the most unique? You don't think he had the most unique body type out there of all the men?
I'm waiting for Taylor. I think he does have. We lost Taylor. He doesn't want to give his input here. I think he's got the most unique looking body type out there for sure. With the exception of possibly the Brian Friend lookalike.
I mean, he's so top heavy. He's so top heavy. Hey, there was a good question here I saw in the comments. I'll start here with this. We saw another element of Saxon's greatness in that final event. Basically 3 event wins, and basically even though he's going, he still got the event win. And that's another kind of championship signature move, right? That we see from Medeiros, Froning, Fraser, Tia. Who do you think was more impressive at their regionals? Saxon Panchik or Justin Medeiros?
Justin Medeiros.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think that Saxon was impressive for exactly what you just said, but we also just got off the phone with his brother telling him that the talks that they were having were to leave no points on the field. So perhaps that was a mindset he went into going ahead to finish as strong as possible. But when you look at the Medeiros field, I would say his biggest competition was Hopper. And then you have a couple of other games qualifiers in there, but the rest of the field wasn't as... And also, his finish over Hopper was more impressive than his finish over the rest of the field for Saxon. I kind of started to talk the wrong direction there. I tried to backpedal.
Hey, good. Because look at Saxon. Saxon had more competition than Justin, right?
Yeah.
Saxon had more competition, yes. But I would say Hopper, and I only say Hopper because of his performance at the MACC last year. Since the MACC, he's been kind of high middle.
As Taylor would say, he's a dick slapper. He's a slapper dick. Slap dick.
No, I think he meant slap dick was 10th and lower in the semifinals.
Oh. Sorry, Jason, you're not a slap dick. Hey,
Jason's higher than slap dick.
I think Dallin will beat Jason Hopper at the games this year. Dallin Pepper.
Why do you say that?
That's a hot take. Instagram reel right there.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly.
You're just feeling it.
I mean, there are some guys out there who are in the sport right now who every minute are getting better. I don't know who they are, but there's a lot of fucking young guys out there and a lot of people working hard. And for some reason, I just think that guy is. Everyone who trains with him is kind of like
Dallin?
In awe of him. Yeah, they're all in awe of him.
Yeah, you heard James talking about him.
Yeah, he's that guy. Well, James is also in awe of Nick Thomas. Poor Nick Thomas.
Right. Yeah, he busted his foot up though.
Right.
I know.
He had Ostarine spit into his shaker bottle.
Okay, we talked about feet breaking the plane of the top of the box. What the fuck is that rule? We all agree, stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid, okay.
Yeah.
They could have fixed that easy. Both hands, both feet touch.
Jake Berman, still in it for the last chance qualifier, said something very interesting that I thought was great. Curious what you think about this as a training tool. He had done event number 5 twice before, and he used a heavier dumbbell in practice. And when he went out there, he knew that it would feel a little bit lighter. You like that technique?
That's something I remember Hepner used to do before the regional competitions, was he would just level up. And I don't know how I feel about it oftentimes, but in certain situations, it makes a little bit of sense. I remember vividly, there was a situation where Hepner did an overhead squat that was 20% heavier than the workout, but it was only for 10 reps at the end of the workout. So he's like, hey, if I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah,
that's what he did here.
That's what I think too. You got to swing the weighted bat, because if you, in about 20% sounds about right, because if you start to go too heavy, you're almost changing the workout in a sense, right? Like if you slow that dumbbell down, or if it changes the stimulus a little bit. But I think swinging the weighted bat is always good, if not for anything, just mentally, right? You're like, hey, if I did this with a 70, now I got to go do it with a 50. It's going to feel a little lighter. It's going to move a little quicker. So I think it's
James Townsend does that as well with his athletes. He says, and you know what? It seems to be working for him.
Yeah. No,
and you know what? It seemed to work for Berman as well, and it seemed to work for Hepner back in the day as well. So maybe that is the way to go, Sevan.
Hey, if you're gonna do some sort of workout, let's say you were gonna do, I don't know, just make it up, 10 cleans, 10 burpees, 3 rounds.
10 cleans, 10 burpees, 3 rounds. Okay. What are the weights?
So and let's say you were gonna use 135 on the clean.
Okay.
Wouldn't you, before you did that workout, deadlift at some point in the warm up, maybe a set of 5 or a set of 10 with 225 before you grab that 135?
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying no right off the bat.
Okay.
Why would you do a deadlift?
I always do it so that when I do grab that 135 clean, it's like it's almost like I'm grabbing the deadlift full of helium, so it explodes up. And I always put it on the outside of the collar right before I go. So right before I'm going to do like high cycling cleans, I'll put like a 25 on each side of it and do some deadlifts with it, and then just yank it off really quick before I go.
So how about like doing a heavier clean and jerk by like 10% instead? Why wouldn't you do that?
No, you might do that too, but you can get away with doing a lot more heavier of a deadlift. So I might put 10 on each side for doing the clean and jerk, but for the deadlift, I could put on 25s, 35s, 45s, whatever.
I'm going to get you in touch with Oscar Mora, and you're going to be his coach for the next year. It's like, I need you to warm up for this clean and jerk event with deadlifts.
You know what that reminds me of a little bit?
Wait, Jay, look at James is hating.
No, not the deadlift. I don't think the deadlift.
Mr. Townsend knows. It reminds me of like the local competitions you go to, and there's a 135, and your example, Sevan, of like, 10 power cleans at 135, 3 rounds. And you got these guys back there like clean and jerk in 245 before they go out to the event. And I mean, to me, it's almost just a waste of energy a little bit. And the reason why I said no right off the bat to your deadlift versus power clean is just because it's a different movement. You're going, I mean, the setup's different. The pull is going to be a little bit different.
Oh yeah. For me, it's not, it's identical. So maybe that's why I'm all fucked up.
Maybe that's what's up with your back. I'm going to fix that this afternoon for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm still getting Oscar Mora in touch with you though. He needs some help on his engine. He's going to warm up for his clean complex next year at deadlifts.
And, going back to your hot take with Hopper real quick, I don't want to beat this too much, but based off what Mr. James Sprigg told us the other day, he was saying that Dallin Pepper does better with more events. And if you kind of
Dallin, it's like in the second grade, motherfuckers, when you hear ass, jackass, Dallin.
What did I say? What did I say?
Everyone's got a Dallin. Everyone's got a Dallin. Even Mr. Woodland's got a Dallin. It's Dallin.
Okay, Dallin.
Yeah,
Dallin.
It's James Townsend. It's Dallin Pepper.
You know what? Like, I'm calling him Mr. Pepper from now on.
It's when I played with dolls until I was 17.
Okay, Dallin does better with more events here, and you can see that he's been super consistent. And it's like if this trend stay the same way with his 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, and you just kept stacking events, and he was able to stay right into there. Versus if we look back at Hopper, I think he fumbled a little bit. Whoops, I went to the women here. And
wow, that's a harsh. Sousa's going hard in the paint here.
Well, he's got a 12th here, right? So we saw a little bit of a drop off with that, which we didn't see with Dallin.
Yeah, but that's that stupid ass workout.
Well, regardless of the workout and your agreement of it, it's still just it is what it is where they're placing. So I don't know.
No wonder you never made it to the games.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, but the takeaway is there is Sousa's claiming that Dallin Pepper will do better over 15 events at the games than Jason Hopper. I think I heard some insinuation, if not a call out on that. Any proof of that?
No, that's just purely based off of these last 2 weekends.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then Hopper's in big trouble.
Pepper's on a freight train to the freaking moon. He's going to take everyone down.
Well,
who?
I'm a team Sevan. Dallin Pepper's on fire.
Yeah.
And I meant Dalton.
He's Dallin Pepper is Samuel Quant 2.0.
He's going next weekend. Are we going to talk about next weekend, or is this just the finals here?
Oh no!
I can't wait to see how Sam Quant does next weekend.
No,
I have to go to Greg's house in 45 minutes for the big.
All right, I'll be there.
Huge
4
party.
hours.
Oh shit! Are you going to that, Sousa?
Yeah, I'm actually partly dressed for that, and I even shaved. So I'm getting off of this.
No wonder you look like Ben Bergeron.
I got Ben Stiller in the comments. We'll stick with Ben Stiller. Better than Steve-O. I don't know.
Ben Stiller and Zoolander.
Definitely better than Steve-O.
Let's see a blue steel.
not only did Saxon Panchik win 3 events, but Danielle Brandon won 3 events.
The last 3 events, right?
Yeah.
She put a stamp on this fucking weekend.
How can anyone? Well, okay. Let's be totally fair. I don't want. Let's be totally fair.
Okay.
It's not a strong female division. It's not.
What about your girl Sydney?
I mean, that's the thing. It's not strong. We have these really weird characters who are in the top 4. Really weird.
What?
What do you
define a weird?
Okay. I'm going to tell you. You have Bailey Rail, a total surprise fucking walk-on last year at the games.
She was on a pretty high level games team every year before that.
Okay.
Team 407. I think that they also podiumed both of those years she was on the team.
Okay, fair.
Motherfucking monster.
A very unique, still a physique that doesn't. It's an amazing physique.
To be quite frank.
I mean, yeah. To be quite frank, I just think I think she's a little. She's not your prototype CrossFitter. You have Brooke Wells, who came off a fucking serious injury.
Yeah, I think she's.
So when you say that you've had a unique group of characters, I imagine that show we did with the McDonald's characters, and they're just kind of all washed up. Like they were all picked up out of the garbage can. It's like, they used to be clean, but here we go. And Daniel Brandon beat them all.
This isn't those guys in the men's class at the MACC. These are household names. We expect all of these guys to be at the games. Noah, Saxon, Cole Sager. I mean, it's the fucking who's who. It's like if you buy the box set of the dolls of the CrossFit characters for your kids, action figures. It's those guys. These are a bunch of beat up, no names.
That's rookies. Exactly what I just said. And you said no.
Oh, Sorry, I was picturing. I started visualizing Metallica or Kiss. Sorry, I'm sorry. And then you have Sicky. You have Sydney Mikulishin, who
I want to win the games.
I want to get on her bandwagon. I'm glad she's going. I want her to fucking win the games. I want her to be, the next Laura Horvat. But we don't know because no one here was to test her. And then we have Danielle Brandon, who the whole thing was kind of set up for her to be our queen. You know what I mean?
I agree. This is a weak ass field for the females.
That's a hot take.
I'm saying Tia Toomey would have swept this field.
Oh yeah, she would have got first, second, and third place.
And I also think Mal O'Brien is going to sweep the field next year because I saw someone in the comments ask that. Like, do you think Mal is going to sweep? It's like, yeah, and then everyone's going to be like, who's going to win, Mal or Toomey? And then Toomey's going to sweep the games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking these chicks. I liked it. It's fun. I'm glad. I think all 5 of those ladies deserve to go.
Well, based off what you're saying, and Danielle Brandon in this field here, I mean, a second, a fifth, and then 3 first in a row to stamp the weekend. So even if it wasn't necessarily her hardest competition out on the field, I mean, she still absolutely crushed it. So that's saying that even if there was a little bit more tougher competition out there, like she would still do relatively well.
I mean,
I take that back about Mal sweeping the field. She's not going to win the clean. Just gotta make sure I'm unfucking that. Sorry.
Record. Bailey is a freaking unit. Yeah, there's no doubt. So, yeah. And to what Souza was saying, Turbo Tunnel, she beat Sydney Mikulishin by 50 seconds almost. And Sydney put it to Bailey Rail, beat her by 40 seconds. Yep. Same thing with the hardcore parkour. Danielle basically won by a minute, and then Sydney beat Bailey by another 30 seconds. I mean, there's a gap between these athletes. It's just so hard to tell how good everyone is with this kind of mix-up.
Yeah,
that might go to the programming again.
Stay away from that programming, damn it.
No, you get 2 minutes. What do you mean? Yeah, I know. Last night I wanted to.
No. I don't want to get into the programming. We've done that enough. I just don't think that the programming, like the best, always comes out on top. That's what they always say, and that's always the worst argument, just the easy way out. But I think that the argument that we're all having with the females here and they're stacking up against the other females might be different if there was a better programmed event. And that's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough. One thing that I think was cool that, and I can't remember if it was Dave Castro that talked about this, but he was always saying that there was and if it wasn't Dave, forgive me, but there was a moment for each athlete that is going to win when the momentum changes during a specific workout. And I think for Danielle Brandon, that was the MACC mile when Brooke Wells was way out in front and then she just kind of crept by and then just crushed it. And I think for Saxon Panchik, that moment was during the midline sadness when Noah Olsen broke on that handstand walk and he just strutted right on by. And so I think those were two notable moments for me on the men and the women's side, because once that momentum shift changed, and whether it's a mental thing or whether they're just reaching their stride, it really took off for both of them at that time. What are you laughing about over there?
The comment by Anthony TPA.
You think Panchik gets more camera time at the Granite Games than Tia at the MACC because of Mal?
Where's the guy that I hired to do the Tia Toomey camera exposure? I need you to also do that with Frazier at Granite Games.
They do the notable mention where they covered a bunch of the athletes that were there. Did you guys see that, where they gave them like a call out? It reminded me of like the Super Bowl when they're like, oh, check out this celebrity we have and check out this celebrity. There was a moment of that.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was kind of cool. And you know what I was thinking? I brought this up at some point, kind of tying it to the American Ninja Warrior events where you have the, hey, this is the athlete and here's what they've done. Here's where they're coming from. Very much like the Road to the Games Sevan used to do.
Yes.
I think that they should do that in the intermissions, that everyone's just sitting there talking in the comment section. Imagine like a 1 minute plug for a handful of athletes.
Imagine us there and we bring them on and we do a short little interview with them and capture all the main stuff that's there and then they move on.
I got one better for you. You know how they put the helmets on the NFL players and the quarterbacks are talking in the huddle? Just put a little earbud in their ears and you can say, ask them what they're talking about, and then they can just chuck the earbud right before the event.
We're talking about
chuck the earbud. In all fairness, Heber and Mars and Mariah and crew get most of the credit for the Road to the Games. Can you pull up the belt throw from yesterday?
Yes.
I can't. So it's even funnier. It's even funnier now. Hiller, have you seen this yet?
I haven't. No.
When Alexis Johnson. So this is yesterday. She's one of the members on the Mayem Independence team. Mm-hmm. I thought she was. So now it all makes sense. Before you hit play here, I want to show you what's happening. You can see she has her belt in her right hand. And what she's doing is she's trying to throw it down court so that it's there for her when she does she shoulders the sandbag. Now watch this throw. This is why your parents tell you not to throw shit. Look at that's just crazy. I like the judge too. Like no one says anything. And then when she crosses, I think Sean or Tanya start busting up laughing, or Rich. Is she going to run back and get her belt? She doesn't.
Right.
She just does the bag without a belt. Can you rewind that again and look at that? Look at this, you guys. Look at this. Look at.
What in the hell is going on?
It lands 2 lanes over.
It looks like a softball toss, doesn't it? Just that you can't throw anything.
That's what I was going to say. Last time we saw a throw that bad was Jason Khalipa in the 2011 games there. Softball toss.
It's not aerodynamic, dude. You can't just chuck it.
Well, it's funny, too. I wonder what her thought process was, because she peeks up at it and she sees that it goes way over to the left. And then she's just like, well, screw it. I'm guessing we're doing it without the belt.
It would have been better if she would have run and gotten it. Like, oh, fuck. He goes and gets it.
In one of the team events today, they started off on rowers, and then I forget what they had to do next. But basically, to get past the rowers, each rower...
Dumbbell cleans.
Okay. Each rower had to have 60 calories completed on it. And what I saw what Angelo did is he went over to one of the rowers of his Sasha's rower, and he rowed some calories for her while she was doing something else. And then he came back to his rower and rowed his calories. Have you ever seen an event like that? Where there could be that kind of strategy? You're jumping from rower to rower?
I don't have recollection of a CrossFit sanctioned event like that before, but I know that local competitions have done things like that before for sure. Where you got a couple of machines. Maybe I'm thinking maybe Team Series when that was a thing, and not Team Series, but I'm thinking the where the countries were battling, and they had like Rich Froning and Khalifa on the same team. Right.
What was that?
That's like the.
Wasn't that like the Rogue thing they did? Team Rogue.
No. They got rid of it in like 2015.
It was like
it was a very cool thing. I thought it was just
like
something that went on in the middle of the night. You'd wake up and the whole thing was done already because they had it overseas.
Shit, what was that? I forget what that called. The Invitational.
Invitational.
You know what's fascinating about that? When we did that in the States, we didn't get a lot of people. But when they took that, thank you, Jordan. When we took that overseas, like when we did that in Europe, it was crazy. It was like dangerous for the athletes at the venue. They would get mobbed. Seriously, it was nuts.
Yeah, that was very cool. And I think back then, that's one of the only times I've seen something like that, where they have a couple of machines. You got to get a number of calories, and you could have whomever do it of the 4 athletes that you've got. And then, the male athletes always end up doing more on the machine. So if you've got 2 males, 2 females, just save the females, have the males work at their 8 or 70%, which would end up being the females 100%. That's usually why you do it that way.
I want to show you one more thing before, because I only have 34 minutes. And there's a video here I want to show you also from yesterday that I can't believe I didn't see yesterday. And I want to know if you saw this. I don't want to say anything about it. I just want to show this to you, Hiller and Souza, and tell me what you guys think is going on here. Do you have it, Souza? It's of Brooke Wells getting off the runner yesterday.
Yes, it's going to be a little poor quality, but we do have it. Here we go.
Probably Danielle Brandon was on the back half of the set. Now Brooke Wells is getting to the wall ball for the final time. Final couple reps for Danielle Brandon, and she will head back to the pull-up bar.
Brandon is looking strong. Wells needed to take a big break after that.
Susie, can you turn off the volume and can you make it smaller so that it looks better? Basically, I don't know if you guys saw this, but it's Brooke Wells getting off the runner, and something's wrong. Something is like really wrong. Like she's having heat stroke. She looks like a boxer that just got punched in the face and can't walk. And then if you see, she wobbles onto one leg before she starts her wall balls. Did you hear anything about that yesterday?
About her not being all there?
Yeah, like she was basically like either she didn't eat enough food, she was dehydrated, she had a high temperature. I mean, something was wrong there.
I think they mentioned she was dehydrated from that, because at the end they said that when she got back into the hotel, they focused a ton on her recovery and hydration. Oh, yeah. See, Bruce Wayne's on it.
Okay.
She's dehydrated. That's what I heard.
You should play the one I sent you to.
She had heat issues.
I don't know if you can even see that.
Well, yeah, it's hard to get them in here because of the way that they're sent.
Well, no, check
where
it
is?
on
Did
the,
you send it to me? I can just
StreamYard. No, it's on StreamYard. There's a play button for you guys.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this was a little more obvious. What Hiller's going to show us here. This was a little more obvious that something was wrong with her here. Yeah, this should have been a telltale sign when we saw this. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's pretty obvious. Something's wrong with her. Yeah. They should have got her medical attention right there. I agree.
Oh my gosh. I think
I think I have the other one too. If you want this one, give me a second. I'll get it on there.
You have the one where she comes off the runner. That'd be great. But I think honestly, the story of Brooke Wells through this weekend was amazing, because she had even said like nine months ago she had reconstructive elbow surgery, and here she is competing at the highest level and just punched her ticket to the games for the 9th time. I mean, that's incredible, right? And I mean, we were saying that the women's field wasn't as stacked as it could have been, or as it is in some of these other semifinals. But nonetheless, to come back from an injury like that and punch your tickets to the games is phenomenal.
I thought the female class was definitely ass stacked. But okay, hydration and overheating are two different things. Just so you know, you're not if you're overheated and you just start drinking a shitload of water, it doesn't fix it. It does not.
Sean said hydration issues. When did Sean say hydration issues?
I think that's probably what I heard when they were just talking about her coming back from at the beginning of the day, when they were saying she, maybe they had tea or something, but somebody came on and they were just discussing a ton about her hydration. And I mean, in a longer workout like that, if she is under recovered coming in, she came out really hot at the beginning. She was doing the touch and goes with the bag. She was really pushing the pace. And it's going to be a 25-minute long workout. So if her hydration or the recovery going into the event wasn't up there to where it needed to be for the level that she was pushing, you're just going to see her red line. I mean, you see this in longer events all the times where people just and crash out. And I think that's just what ended up happening.
She overheated. So someone said hydration, and then Tia said she overheated.
Yeah, and you know what? Those are easily confused by those of us who aren't scientists.
You want to tell us for you who is the scientist?
I don't know which one it is. But they're not the same thing, and they have different remedies.
This is why we need Taylor on the show, because he is indeed a scientist.
Well, he's a journalist. He could get us the facts.
The facts.
He could get us the facts. Which was more emotional for you, when she made it or when Spencer made it? When did you feel your tear ducts turn on stronger?
Are you talking to me or Souza?
You go for it, Hiller.
And whichever one of you has like a
I'm
few
not
feelings
very,
you can scrape together.
emotional. So, like I
give
tried
two
to say,
fucks.
all the time, it's like, yeah, I could give 3 fucks actually. Like what I say all the time. Did
you see what I did to that old man in the Masters qualifier? Do I seem like I'm someone who has feelings?
Once people start working out, they turn into pieces of meat with names attached to them. Like I don't really have much to them other than that. I think I've said that before. It's like, all right, is that piece of meat getting below parallel? Like, oh, yes, no, maybe so. So yeah, I thought that it was probably coolest that the repaired piece of meat made it into the CrossFit Games. Then, yes. I mean, Spencer making it was pretty cool. I did like Spencer making it. So I guess with the entire storyline that is this year, having Scott not able to participate any longer, and then having his brothers participate, that one. Sevan, this is just a hard question, man, because
it is.
Hey, were you emotional when you didn't make it? Did you cry when you didn't make it?
When I didn't make it?
No, Souza. Yeah, you.
Oh, I've never been in a position quite that substantial. But you know what? I have been. In 2018, our team finished 6th. Colton Mertens beat us. I remember they beat us by something like 8 points, and we were
that's gotta hurt. You look over and you're like, which team beat us? And you're like, that team only has 3 people. And then you look down and there's Colton.
It was actually rather similar. I remember it was Colton. I remember we were probably 30 points out. We were in, and they were ahead of us, and they were really struggling with the worm lunges. We were watching them; they were quite a bit back, and we thought that we had a chance. So yeah, when you don't end up making it, that's just more of a Tyler Christophal ending, because we ended up not making it. And if we would have made it, yeah, it would have been quite emotional. So in the situation of,
did you cry? Did you cry?
No, I was hurting. I was down.
Well, did anyone on your team cry?
I am very much like Townsend always says. I try to hammer in the realism of things and trying to make people like heady about it. We're not criers.
Right.
We were never criers. Like
Hiller doesn't need to go to therapy. He just changes his batteries every 6 months and he's good to go.
Yeah, that's right. Pieces of meat and batteries.
Wow. Tyler hugging Rich for 30 seconds at the end. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. I think probably the most emotional thing, I mean, not for me personally, but I think it would end up being the story with Tyler, because a lot of the Mayhem athletes had made it, right? They got 3 teams through. Bailey Rail made it. Like, was he the only one inside that camp that will not be participating with them at the games now?
He is last chance qualifier material. Look at that.
Okay, yep, you're right.
6th, 7th, and 8th go to the last chance qualifier. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I finally got that file uploaded, by the way, Susan, if you want to play it finally.
But right before you play it, I just want to say this real quick. I would trade going to the games to be able to hold Rich in my arms for 30 seconds. Okay, that's just wanted to get that.
You're also the one who says he texts you once a year and you cry, so you're the emotional one.
Getting the fetal. I don't open it for a week.
Yeah, I'm on the group text and I see and I pretend it's just to me personally, even though I know it has nothing to do. I like show a few people and try to cover up the other names in the text. Okay, did we want to play this thing with Brooke, or do we still want to?
Yeah, let's play it. Let's see. I don't even know what it is. Let's see what it is.
It's the one that you wanted to show. I just should be clearer this time.
But it'll be better and hopefully not as loud. Cover yours just in case.
Probably Daniel Brandon was on the back half of the set. Now Brooke Wells is getting to the wall ball for the final time.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, this is good. Okay, yeah.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yep. Okay, one more time. Play that one more time. Watch her get off. So that's really bad right before she picks up the ball. But play it one more time and watch her get off the rower here. This is nuts. Right here.
The rower.
Look at her legs.
Yep.
Look at her legs.
They're buckling. Dude. And right here.
She doesn't have control. She doesn't have control. She just got punched in the face. Look. That's what the fight looked like last night on ESPN.
Right there. She almost lost her balance right there too.
One more time, please. Really look at her legs and her hips. There's some sort of disconnect as she gets off the runner.
Hold on, let me pull it back. Oh, oops, sorry. We're all fucked up now. Right here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then watch as she goes to turn around right here. So she turns around, And then look, she almost loses her balance to her left R right there. And then hunkers down on the knees.
Dude, she's a beast. How did she push through that?
Yeah. And I mean, think about it as far as like the training time and stuff is considered too. Again, going back to you were talking about what was the most like emotional piece of it. For me, it was definitely her story of her coming back and then making it to the games, because people think, yeah, you know, she made it back from the injury, from the reconstructive elbow surgery. But look at all of these women were training that whole entire time. And I mean, she was going through it not only physically coming back from that injury, but mentally. I mean, the first time she's snatching that bar with any significant weight on it, the stuff that's going through her head, she's thinking, okay, am I going to go into competition and get the first overhead squat for this midline sadness and push and have something go wrong with my elbow? And boom, I'm out for the whole entire season again. So for her to battle back from not only the physical side, but the mental side of it, for me, that was kind of the emotional story for the weekend.
When you look at her holding, so there's a picture of her on Instagram just like holding a barbell overhead, and you can see that her entire body is kind of offset a little bit around that shoulder, the side of the injury on it. Mm-hmm. And I only pick up on that stuff because I kind of notice it with myself right now with my bummed out elbow. Like everything is shifted incorrectly. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There's a picture of her during the complex just standing there with a bar over her head. Like everything's just a little bit not symmetrical.
Yeah, just that protectiveness.
So although they fixed the elbow, I don't know if they fixed everything else, which is something to think about.
I don't know what this is in reference to, but too many monsters and Tito's. Not too many.
That's not in relation to you. You're just a little self-conscious, so you think it's in relation to you. It's got to be in relation to Brooke waddling around is what he's talking about.
Oh, right. I'm so insecure.
Good call.
Yeah, everything's about Sevan.
Insecure. I don't know why I have this here in my notes, but I think they were interviewing Rich maybe, and I saw him say this, but I think he said that they have the best. He's so cocksure.
Would you be?
Rich F Jr. Rich Froning Jr.
Of course he is.
He's just like, we have the best women in the game. We just have the. I mean, we're gonna do good. We have the best women in the game.
Yeah, he knows. 3 teams to the games, man. It's
incredible. He should be pretty cocksure.
That's incredible.
All right, breakfast talk. I'm going to the doctor on the 6th. All right, I'm gonna. I was trying to fix it.
Can we?
Yeah, I'm finally getting imaging done. All right, happy.
So Colton's girl qualified to go to the CrossFit Games in Madison.
She's a monster.
I didn't even know he. I didn't even know he went. I didn't even know he went that way. I didn't even know he did girls.
It's just pigs, huh?
Just farming.
This is amazing.
Farming and lifting.
Was he there?
She's a monster. Hey, I was at this competition. I think. I was. Yeah.
So Colton was there at the event.
That I don't know. I don't know. That was not at the event. That picture.
Because we didn't see any. We didn't get any camera time of Colton Mertens.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, but he's not Tia Toomey. They're not going to pan the crowd and find Colton. They should, but they
should.
Hey, does she have another name besides Colton's girlfriend? Scroll over. Let me see to the top. Allie Zerky. Let's just call her Allie Mertens.
Didn't you have a podcast with him and he was talking about her in the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how good I am at listening, Hiller. You know how good I am at listening.
You're just waiting for your next opportunity to say something.
Yes, thank you. Well, congratulations to her. That's really cool. I would suspect he wasn't there if it would affect his training at all. He made it seem like she's so freaking supportive of him. Yeah, it's cool.
That is the same team that beat my team. Yeah.
Get Colton and his girlfriend on the podcast. No, I'm not sharing Colton with her. But thank you.
Jealous like that. Good suggestion, but no.
Yeah. When we saw Sydney Mikulishin do anything besides running, she was great.
So you're saying there's a chance she's going to take down Tia?
It's just she was the first off the toes to bar. I mean, she's strong. She was strong in the lunges. She was strong in the shoulder to overhead.
She's not athletic.
Well. Do you think that's indicative of her swimming background?
Swimmers are usually kind of athletic. I think it's like we talked about this the other day. I think it's kind of just something born in you. Will you guys be doing this kind of? Yeah, I don't know. Are we? Sevan's going to the games. He said.
Yeah, I'm going to the games. James and I are going together in a bus. Hey, James, we need you for the games. We can't have would you have good internet, James? That's the only requirement. And that you don't look like a thumb, like Taylor. You don't look like, we already have the thumb position taken care of. If you have good internet, we'd love to have, we need another guy. We need another dude. It would be nice if you were a girl too, but we'll take another dude.
Just get a stacked panel.
Yeah, especially someone smart like him.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, he's going to be at the games. He's going to be at the games.
He's going to be busy coaching. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't coach. He's just going to pray over him. In between events, Tutor Magda's just going to lay on the ground. James is going to put some ointments on him.
Just tell you what, Tutor ends up podiuming, and then you're going to blame him. You're going to be eating your words if they ends up podiuming, and that was the method.
I'll be in the RV section.
See, I don't know. We're getting close. We've kicked around the idea of doing some shows out in the RV area.
Hey, you know what?
My dad's on an Airstream.
Who does?
My dad.
I want to go there with just 3,000 CEO shirts and just give them away for free and just carpet the place.
Drop them.
Travis, you hear that?
Rating CEO shirts.
Get a t-shirt cannon.
We had talked about yesterday. We were critiquing the workout, the toes to bar workout, and the topic of discussion was that it wasn't enough toes to bar. Now that you saw the workout run, do you think you and Scott and Taylor were probably wrong on that?
No.
What? That quick?
Damn.
They basically did them unbroken, and the entire event was dumbbell snatch and burpees over the box. The toes to bar, the difference between somebody who was really good on toes to bar and not so great on toes to bar would have been 15 seconds at the absolute most. I mean, it was the difference was some people went unbroken and some people broke once.
Right. Well, on the second round, I think Brooke even came down twice.
All right. Well, that's twice. Sevan is one person he was watching.
Yeah. Well, that's all you can watch if you're watching the feed.
That's true. I thought the toes to bar in there because you were saying it was the dumbbell and the burpee box jumps that matter.
You just got to know exactly what they were going for. So were they supposed to matter? Well, that's what Scott and I were saying. Is were they supposed to matter? Because if they were, then it doesn't matter. But if they were just supposed to be like a place filler, which I don't think there really ever should be a place filler movement within a workout. But if they were supposed to be that, then they did their job.
Well, if it just taxed the midline enough to affect those other movements that they were really making the workout about, then I think.
Do you really think they did, though? Do you think they affected these athletes' midline?
I mean, I think it did. I think it did. Not in a massive way, not in the point that the GHD did in the midline sadness, but I think it was just a little bit of a burn on the grip coming into the dumbbell, just a little wear and tear on the hip flexors in the midline, and then
there you go. You said hip flexors. You know where else I was saying hip flexors was on the required points you were supposed to be doing the box jump overs.
Correct.
More hip flexors when you need to actually get your hips over the box. If you can keep them lower, perhaps they were supposed to do just enough, but then they also released most of the athletes from holding them accountable on the hip flexor part 2, being the box jump over.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. I thought that, obviously the toes to bar weren't a huge factor, especially for the athletes of this caliber in that workout. But I did think, in going back to your point with being over the box, especially if we started to tax that hip flexor a little bit more and we needed that to meet the standard that was required or wasn't required, that would affect it even more in that last section of it. So I just think they were just a little enough to put a little burn on that midline. I
want to know how Sevan warms up for toes to bar.
Hey, were the female and male box heights they
were different.
They were different.
Yeah.
40 inches for the females.
Wow, man, they looked high also. There was in the transitions there, Danielle was in first place and she still ran to her box. Is that the only way the best in the world would do that?
It's the only way the best become the best, or would end up making a difference if you got other people. So you said the field was weak, right?
Yeah. No, you said the field was weak. I wanted to say it. I didn't have the balls to say it. I danced around it a bit. I said instead Bailey Rail had a unique body.
I said they looked like trashy McDonald's characters, and then you said Bailey had a unique body, like a unicorn or something. But I think that if you had more like the Laura Horvats of the world, Tia Toomey there, you would have seen a handful of more people moving off of the toes to bar to the box like you saw Brandon do.
Yeah. But those are the kind of things that when you see that transition, you're like, okay, that she's different. Like she's there to win. She's not pacing anything. Like this is.
Yeah, I think it's also
what's necessary.
I think it's sending a message to the other competitors. I think when she was out for like that, and she runs to it and she's attacking the workout that way. If they're starting to feel that fatigue and slow down, and then you look over in your lane and you're like, fuck, she's sprinting over there to that box and getting the work done. That's going to be a big mental edge for Danielle, and it's going to slow a bunch of the other people down a little bit mentally if they're feeling fatigued.
Did you guys read Fraser's book?
I didn't. I bought
it. In Fraser's book, it's pretty good. It's worth reading, by the way. In his book, he talks about the trail run in Aromas where they had to like go back. Castro sent everybody back, and he said there was a bend, and he said that he saw the bend and he was feeling some sort of way. And he said that in his training, he put himself into a hole on purpose so that he could mentally break his competitor. So it was him and Medeiros, they're going, and he said that he took the bend and took off so that when Medeiros looked, he was nowhere to be seen. And then when you do that sort of thing, Medeiros sees him and goes, oh shit, I'm not even going to try anymore. Right. But in Fraser's head, he goes, this is a risk, but the only reason he knows he can take that risk was because he's trained to take that risk. And when you see someone like Brandon, like scooting over to the box as quick as you can, she might feel like shit for all you know, but she's trying to put the competitors in a hole the same way Fraser was trying to put Medeiros in a hole. Yeah. And that's the game at this point in time. If you remember talking to Scott yesterday, the game back then was, he said the aerobic workouts were the hundreds and everybody could find rest. It was basically who could keep moving the best they could. And at this point in the game, everyone's looking for every inch and every advantage. And you saw it with Brandon, you saw it with Fraser. And what do you think about that, Sevan?
It made me think of what something I crossed off the list that I wasn't going to mention earlier. I think that that was a lost opportunity, the opportunity that she took and made a statement, not just there, but to the whole world who was watching. Hey, I win the last 3 events. I'm here to fucking kick ass. Mayem Independence missed that opportunity. I think that they won, but I don't think
they skittled into the finish line.
They didn't put the nail in the coffin. A few times they did that. They should have just really fucking hammered and they probably tried to. Look at first, second, first, 7th.
Yeah, and that second on there should have been a first.
look at Mitchell of 9.
God, I'm such a dick. It was that 7th workout. It was that last workout where they took 7th. I just think that they.
You think they came off the gas pedal a little bit? They throttled back.
I just think that you can't. I just think that you have an opportunity, and there's nothing to nitpick about these guys. I mean, they were amazing, but it is fun to see them just really like send the message we're unbeatable.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting with that team, Mayem Independence, and this is going to happen across, especially with Justice, and it's going to happen into the games. We're not even comparing them to the field. We're comparing them to the other Mayhem teams. And that just shows how good they were. Because if we were talking about them isolated as just the team here, not attached to the Mayhem name, we would be like, holy shit, these guys crushed it. Are they going to give Mayhem a fight for their money at the CrossFit Games? But since they're all part of the same camp, we're almost treating them at a much higher standard, comparing them to Rich's team rather than the field that they're competing against.
If they would have taken first in that, and we have a first, second, first, we can be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like they were untested.
Yeah.
But now we
programming. I'm kidding.
But you know, we're just talking about that very last. We're comparing that Mayhem Independence team, which they're given the scraps, right? Rich in that Freedom team takes the best, and we're taking the second or third best team there and comparing to something that was in Matt Fraser's book. So in the end, it's a compliment.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
Definitely.
Go Independence.
I'm gonna listen to his book next. The reason why I haven't listened to it or read it is because I know there's no fucking way he'll come on the podcast.
Wait a minute. That attitude. Is that the first time you've ever said that publicly?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I thought every time you talk about him, you say there's a chance.
I mean, there's a chance. There's always a chance. I just don't. I know that there's like 50 authors out there that I could get on the podcast. So if I read their book, I want to have them on the podcast. I don't want to like read his book and then he comes on.
It's a short and easy read. The thing is, did you get the Audible or did you get the book?
Both, but I would listen to the Audible if I were going to listen to it. Why don't I haven't listened to Rich's book either? Why don't I listen to Rich's? I know he'll come on.
Yeah,
I can send you my copy. It's good. It's a little sticky. That was a Sevan joke. All right.
We have 9 minutes. Is there what would you like to bring up, or would you like me just to keep bringing up these silly notes I have?
We have 9 minutes. Well, you said you already said you don't want to talk about Granite Games at all. That's its own show, probably with Brian.
I don't mind talking about them. Let me say this then, real quick, since you didn't jump on it. There's 2 shows that Hiller and I are going to do this week at least. Justin Medeiros has a YouTube station. If you want to, we're going to have Justin on, and Hiller and I are going to bust his balls about this video. It's a really good video. It's a fun video. It's the build up to his win of Syndicate. I think his YouTube station is Justin Medeiros. We were going to do it tonight, but I think Justin said he's going to like a putt golf thing.
He said he's going to Top Golf, and he invited you, but you had something to do instead.
Is that miniature golf?
Yeah,
no, man.
No.
It's it's nothing like golf, or it's nothing like putt, except for the fact that the sport's similar.
Okay, and then we will be doing. I don't know where we're going to fit it in, but we're going to do a review of the last 5 or 6 videos that Hiller has made on the Hiller Fit YouTube station, and that's kind of like something I want to do every week, but I've been a little overwhelmed, so it keeps getting pushed back. So those are 2 things that we have coming up that we're doing together. Okay, let's cruise over to the Granite Games. Let's do it.
Sweet.
There's so much. This is going to be. There's so much meat on the bone here, huh?
Yeah, but my favorite thing to talk about is that the team workouts only have one worm workout. Oh, we want to talk about the athletes. Okay, we won't talk about the programming.
Yeah, let's talk about the athletes. Matt, let me pick just this Danielle Brandon's colleague over at Underdogs Athletics, Matt DeLugos. Does he have a chance? Like a good chance?
Are you talking to Souza? You said Souza, yeah?
No, I said Hiller.
No,
oh,
you said Hiller? I thought you said Souza, and I was thinking about
him.
taking a drink, but then you told me there's too much ice in there, so I looked at it to see if it melted, and it hadn't.
You can let your rocks juggle around. Don't worry.
DeLugos, I see he was at Wodapalooza, and he was on the team with the Australian guys, and they put out an amazing show there. And it's always really hard to tell because you've got Con Porter on that team, and you also had Newberry, and they're both very accomplished athletes on that team for the team at 3 Male Elite. I think that they won Wodapalooza, and if not, they were on the podium. But my memory is slipping me there. They were doing really well, and DeLugos was on that team. We saw him do very well in that quarterfinal workout. He ripped the shit out of the rower. Very powerful dude. At the Granite Games, it's very fieldy. I've competed there a handful of times, and I've competed as an individual, and everything that they do is – and since they've changed the program a bit, but at its spirit, it's very back and forth. You're using the course, you're using the field, and is his competition with the Australians at Wodapalooza going to carry over to this Granite Games competition? It'll be a toss-up. So I would say that looking at the programming, I don't think he's going to qualify.
Keep going. Keep scrolling. Oh, hold on. Stop.
Phil Toon, on the other hand, is going to totally dominate.
He is?
Yes.
And I see Travis.
You know where he comes from? He comes from the Dallin Pepper James Sprague camp.
Yep. Yeah.
RP Strength and Matt Torres's. What are they? Not RP. Brute
Strength with Matt Torres. Yep.
Hey, this guy that James Townsend just said, Marquand Jones. This guy might be old as dirt. I remember that guy. 32. Come on, James. Come on. I remember this guy. He's a good dude. I filmed with this guy in Albany one year, Albany, New York. He's a really good dude. He's a specimen. If he performed as good as he looked, he'd have won the games. But
have you ever seen Horrible Bosses? That's
No.
a stupid question. Carry on.
It's got the guy from Ozarks in it.
It sure does. You've seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it, but I really like him. I would like anything he's in. I love him.
It's got the guy from Law Abiding says Jamie Foxx, and every time I see Marquand Jones, I think motherfucker Jones. Like,
okay, no, over my head.
Okay.
So Travis
Marquand
Mayer,
Jones is an awesome athlete.
Keep scrolling down a little. Oh, Anthony Davis.
Another good, strong dude.
So the clean complex here is going to be awesome with Colton Mertens, who we've seen hit 335. You've got Anthony Davis, and you've got Phil Toon.
Yep.
You got Travis Mayer, who's got a almost 400-pound clean. That's going to be something.
So let me tell you some of these names. Brent Fikowski, Chandler Smith, Samuel Quant, Phil Toon, Colton Mertens, Travis Mayer, Anthony Davis.
Chandler Smith.
Yep.
Someone with a big name is going to the last chance qualifier.
Yeah, very good chance of it. I mean, just the numbers alone, right? Phil Toon, Colton Mertens, Brent.
And not to mention what maybe Marquand Jones or
I think Matthews had a crazy ass
Tim
clean
Paulson. Too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, three guys with big names are going to the last chance qualifier.
Yep.
Not to mention we don't know who the Sydney Mikulishin is in this group.
Phil Toon, second place.
Behind who?
Fikowski.
No, Fikowski.
Wow.
I think Fikowski's gonna have a tough time here.
Have you seen the events?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Fikowski's gonna win. Tyler Eggerman's gonna be a force to be reckoned with as well. I think.
Why? Give me in a nutshell. Can we see the events? Have you seen the events?
Pull them up if that's possible. There's a lot of back and forth. Like I already said, you see there's a lot of back and forth. There's the madness that is what should just be wall balls and muscle ups, but they have all those random movements thrown in between them. It's something you would have never seen Castro do. But again, when you see it on the field, it's going to end up making sense because it'll be back and forth. And
hey, no Canadian is coming to this event and winning.
That's Fikowski, homie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's not Canadian anymore. He lives behind the barn. My bad. Okay.
What event is this? I don't think I've seen this yet.
Yeah. So the first two events we already are very well acquainted with are going back to back here. The barbell complex followed by the rope climb workout. Heavy handstand and reverse Fran.
This workout is. Why do they call it that?
9:15:21. 9:15:21. Reverse numbers of Fran. And
yes. It's got thrusters.
Barbell thrusters. I think Fran has a thruster in it. And handstand walk instead of pull-ups.
Yeah, I can see.
I actually think that I would really like this event if they hadn't called it that. This is just them trying to get too cute. They should call this event 3. And then I would have liked it. But it's a good event. It's a good event.
Yeah,
Other than that, I like it.
It's gonna be fast.
Hey, I see Colton Mertens doing whenever I see these events, I just think Colton Mertens, I think second place.
On the barbell complex?
Yeah, 15th place. 21st place in the rope climb, and then that reverse Fran. I see another second place.
I see a first place on that one.
You do?
Yes,
that'd be a good one for him.
Barbell complex. I think it's more like a 4th. I agree with your event 5, and then on this one he'll be top 3 for sure. Okay. And then how about this one? Where's he going to finish on this one? Minnesota matchup.
It's a good one for him. I mean, wall balls.
Oh, it says in small print down here. Colton Mertens does not have to do wall balls. He may do pistols. Oh, that's awesome.
It also says Colton Mertens has done enough wall balls for this competition that he doesn't have to do them anymore. 1,000 for time.
He may do air squats.
So this is the one where you see it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 wall balls, so it's 150. You got the muscle ups in there, right? Yeah, right in the middle. It should have just been like 75, 30, 75, because that's really going to be the whole workout. All the rest of it is busy work. Ends up being 25 minutes, and we know about the bumpers that they're putting on the event. So did they say there had to be something that was 25 minutes? Because we've seen 3 25-minute workouts. And if so, that's, in my opinion, the only reason that they have all that madness in there. Actually, I believe that was a JR take. I should give JR, because he's the one who told me that first. And then I just very much agree with his opinion on that one. It's busy work.
Are those wall balls going to just destroy Mertens?
No. He's done so many with the 30-pound ball. You can remember he would do like 100 a day for a year.
Each throw is an extra 4 seconds of hang time for him.
No, he's going to dominate it.
Okay, good.
The wall balls,
you think Fikowski's going to win that one? You think Fikowski's going to win that one?
Traditionally does really well at the longer events like that. Like he has year over year over year. So I would definitely say it's his to lose. I don't know.
Phil Toon's going to win this one.
Why is that?
Just because I think Phil Toon's just going to light this competition on fire.
This is his weekend.
Dallin Pepper was my pick for this last weekend, and he took second. So I think it's Nitch. You're good.
Okay, keep going. I got a party to go to. Speed chipper. Late. Oh, that's a legit shuttle run.
120 yards.
Wow.
15 snatches, 75 pounds, 36 chest bar pull-ups. Then the shuttle run, 160 yards. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a bit of it in there.
Okay.
Fikowski again. There's your shuttle run, Fikowski. Or this looks like a win for Chandler Smith, in my opinion. But every time I see Chandler Smith, he underwhelms me. Well, I always expect for him to make that Dallin Pepper leap. We saw the Dallin Pepper leap this year. He finished second behind Saxon. And I keep waiting for Chandler Smith to just blow everybody out of the water. And I think that it's I keep on hitting on Bergeron. I think it's a Bergeron holdback. He should be
Constance, text me. I'll swing by your house and pick you up. No problem. No problem. I like to carpool. I'm green. Thank you. God, what if she was serious? That'd be like the first girl I've ever picked up to go anywhere.
Number 2.
Endure the sled, 50-yard sled push, 30 lane facing burpees, 50-yard sled push, 1,000-meter run. Okay.
Yeah, damn. This one looks
okay.
More
So
like
listen. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. But when he's on the bubble, next week, Hiller, this is going to be a great one for him. I will tell you that when he's in 6th place and down by 12 points. This is going to be great.
How do you think he's going to be down by anything? He's going to be in first and then Frazier it and shove it down their throats.
Let me tell you why he's going to be in 5th place there.
Tell me.
Samuel Quant, Phil Toon, Colton Mertens, Chandler Smith, Travis Mayer, Anthony Davis, and Tim Paulson. And just because James Townsend's in the comments, I'll say Marquand Jones.
There's going to be, there could be a big shuffle of the points. I mean, all those people you just named are capable of doing really well in these events. And if points start disappearing and that race becomes real tight.
Tim Paulson's a gamer. I'll give him that for sure. Tim Paulson. Yeah. Sam Quant, he's got some proving to do after last year.
Go to the girls real quick. And then I got to go. What if I had a Q in my name? What a great letter to have in your name.
No torque tank. That's a good comment. They should have gotten rid of the shuttle run and put a torque tank in there.
Definitely. Whose event is this? Who's throwing this?
Hey, Natalia Fulmer.
That's a great question. I have no idea.
She's in.
There's so much hype around Mal O'Brien. It's so great. I hope she's enjoying it. Mal O'Brien, and then I don't see anyone else I recognize. Keep scrolling.
Scroll down, you'll see someone. Jessie Harper, she's good. Sydney Wells is Brooke's sister. She's got a lot of.
Emily
Kayla Stefano is a stud.
Amanda Barnhart. Danny Spiegel.
Danny Spiegel's gonna win the complex.
Definitely not as stacked as the guys, though. I would say.
You think Danny Spiegel's gonna beat Amanda Barnhart?
Oh yeah.
In the complex?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Danny Spiegel could do it without warming up and beat Amanda Barnhart in the complex.
Do you think Danny Spiegel, before she does those cleans, will do some heavy deadlifts? Like she heard the show and she'll do that. She'll put the four.
I think you should check your DM. She reached out to you to ask if how many deadlifts she should do before the complex.
Emily Rolfe. So this is a weak women's class too. This is.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
superstars here.
Oh, Fee Sagafi.
This isn't weak in the same sense that this past weekend it was weak. I don't think. Any Bailey Rails in here? You have anyone just look unique to you here?
Just a unique unit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure.
What do you got?
I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Sydney Wells. I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on her. There's gonna be a lot of eyes on her.
A lot of eyes, yeah.
It could be fun for her. I mean, she's coming in with a big name. She's gonna
do well.
She is gonna do well.
She's got a track background, and did you just see the events? It's a lot of moving around.
Oh, that's
true.
She's
so new to CrossFit.
She did well last year. She was in the teens with her finishing last year in the semifinals.
God, that would be impressive. What would be more impressive, if Sydney made it to the games or that Brooke made it to the games this year?
Sydney.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. It would be crazy if she made it to the games.
100%.
Okay, guys, I am trying to put together a show tonight. Hopefully, Justin Medeiros' putt partner will have explosive diarrhea and get sick with food poisoning, and not that he dies, but just enough to where Justin's like, okay,
he's got to cancel plans. That's all.
Yeah, just that he has to cancel.
Are you worried about Justin playing putt at this point in his game season?
We're worried about him not coming on the show. This is what our main concern.
All right.
Yeah, I am worried. I'm always
worried about Justin.
Thank you guys for listening. I apologize that we didn't have any special guests. I apologize that the thumb wasn't here. I apologize that J.R. Howell was here. I will say that Sousa really stepped up his game today.
Apologize that I'm here too.
I went for it. I was no longer going to sit in the background. I was like, you know what? This is it.
Yes, sir. Get out here.
And you're watching mine and Hiller's bromance grow with every minute. And I appreciate you guys chaperoning this on the worldwide.